What's going on, everybody? I'm Jory Goodman, the Time Teller. You're gonna wanna go ahead and brace yourself because it's time for a proper rant. That's right, it's Friday, which means it's time for a T3 watch rant. People always ask me, what does T3 stand for? The Time Teller. There's 3 T's. It's really not complicated. But guys, special thanks to my viewers. I am now aware of this company called Vague Watch Co. And there's nothing really vague about them. We all know exactly what they're doing. They're trying to replicate, they're trying to mass produce the charm that comes from really obscure vintage watches. Here's what's interesting, okay? Most of these micro brands that focus on essentially replicating watches, they just copy modern Rolex reference numbers, right? I mean, the Submariner is probably the most replicated watch in the history of watchmaking. But I gotta give these guys credit, okay? They don't care about the modern Submariner. They don't care about modern GMT Master 2s or anything like that. No. They took it a step further. They're actually replicating bubble backs. Insanity. This is all very interesting and very, very frustrating. So let's go ahead and try to make sense of this in today's T3 watch rant. It's 12:12 p.m. Wow, 12:12. That was easy. Let's get down to business. Alrighty, introducing Vague Watch Co. Now, I've never heard of this until a few of my viewers wrote to me on Instagram. Don't worry, I'm keeping your guys' names secret. It's so funny, a few of you guys wrote to me about this company and they're like, please talk about this during a rant, but don't let them know that I told you. Vague's not gonna come after you, okay? If they're gonna come after anyone, it's gonna be me. And I got something for them. So from everything I can find online, Vague Watch Co. is a company from Japan that is selling Chinese-made knockoffs of obscure Rolex reference numbers. Their slogan is nostalgic and contemporary timepieces. I say fake, pointless, trash. But let's go ahead and take a look at what these guys have to offer. Okie dokie, so when you go to Vague's website, most of it's in Japanese, but Google can translate it into English or whatever language you speak. But you can see right off the bat, these are vintage Rolexes, or kind of an amalgamation of various reference numbers. The first thing that came to mind was this old Submariner Black Bay amalgamation. It has kind of a more modern bezel from a Submariner, but then it has the dial of an old school Submariner, or I would just say a Black Bay, and it definitely has, you know, the Mercedes handset, whatever. But it says Vague Watch Co. and then self-winding, yada yada yada. What's really interesting about this is that they've actually went ahead and aged the bracelets. Now, when you look at the information over on the spec sheet, it says that it is Chinese made, but the aging is done in Japan. They definitely wanted to let you know that. So don't worry, guys. They're meticulous over in Japan about how they are aging these watches. Wow. But okay, we've all seen Submariner homages, right? That's nothing special. I guess it's cool that they're doing a vintage version, amalgamation, interpretation, whatever you want to say. What really stood out to me though, and what I think is the most egregious of all, are the bubble backs. That's right, they are making a mockery of something I love and I hold near and dear. The first watch I ever reviewed here on YouTube was my beautiful Rolex Bubbleback 2940, and these guys just want to create their own. They call it the Vabble, V-A-B-B-L, the Vabbleback, maybe? I don't know. Let's go ahead and translate this page and see what they have to say. All right, it gets worse once I translated the page. It says, in the 1930s, we designed the model based on the model that became the world's first waterproof watch with waterproof performance. You designed it in the 1930s? No. You didn't. You didn't. You're lying. You see, they didn't design anything in the 1930s. They're trying to take this away from the real Bubbleback, not this Vabble. Okay, so you're getting a gold tone variation with a salmon dial. You're getting kind of an aged, maybe tropical black dial with aged indexes. And then you're even getting a Domino's dial. Here's the crazy part, okay? Remember when I said that they took kind of a more modern bezel from a Submariner and they put it on like an old school Submariner dial / black bay color tones? A weird amalgamation. They're doing this here with the Vabble, okay? There was never a Domino's dial bubble back, but there was a famous Domino's dial Air King. It's almost like they don't care, okay? They are literally making a mockery of what is going on. I almost threw up in my mouth, I'm so mad. There was an Air King with a Domino's dial. It's kind of a joke in the watch collecting community. Some people own these because they think it's kind of quirky and funny and cool, and it is, okay, to own a really nice vintage Rolex Air King with its oyster case in all of its glory, and then the Domino's dial slapped on there. It's funny and it's cool and it's kind of just wonky. But then this company, no, they don't just want to do an homage of a bubble back. They don't just want to do an homage of an oyster case. No, they want to do a bubble back, but then also kind of jump onto the charm and bite off the charm of that Domino's dial Rolex, and then they put it together and it's not a Rolex, it's not an Air King, it's not even a bubble back, and it's not even the Domino's logo. It's definitely trying to be the Domino's logo, but when you zoom in, it just says Vague Watch Co. And of course, it has the Vabble in the cursive lettering that would look like where it says Air King in cursive. I hate this. All right, so as we move along and I try to get control of my blood pressure, we see what else they have to offer, and it's just more obscure Rolex homages. We can see the Cousin early extension, and it's essentially kind of a wannabe 1920s Rolex. They used to have kind of Rolex in sterling silver with small seconds, and they have a few of these here. The Cousin 12 extension and the Cousin early extension. Again, it's just these kind of old antique Rolex wannabes, things that we would see from like the World War I era even. They have something called the Black Sub BLK SUB, which is just a wannabe mill sub. Again, it has the broad hands, it has patinated indexes, it is aged. It's definitely trying to be the mill sub. It's just very frustrating, okay? I get it. These are very sought after watches. These are watches that would be very difficult to find for the normal person. I definitely couldn't afford an authentic mill sub right now. Those are incredibly sought after and very, very expensive, but I definitely wouldn't buy one of these. Far and away, one of my favorite things that they have to offer on the site is something they just call 2 eyes, and it is a dual register chronograph. It looks like it has 2 eyes, I suppose, if you see each subdial as an eye. Sorry, I knocked something off my desk because I really don't care about this episode anymore because I am so mad! So okay, this company is clearly making a mockery of the Submariner. It's making a mockery of my beloved bubble back. It's making a mockery of perhaps the most sought after Rolex ever, the mill sub. But one of my least favorites is the wannabe Clint Eastwood Rolex. That's right, they are trying to recreate the 16753 Root Beer GMT Master. By the way, guys, this is not an automatic GMT watch. This is quartz. They don't say what quartz it is, but there's no guarantee this watch is even well made. All we know is that most of it is made in China, according to their website, and then don't worry, it's aged in Japan. Wonder what the quality control is like there. You gotta hit it enough that it hurts the watch, but not enough that it destroys the watch. You gotta keep scratching it, but don't scratch it too much or else it's gonna break. Kind of sounded like Fred Durst there. Give me something to break. Like a chainsaw. So okay, again, Vague Watches claims that they offer nostalgic and contemporary timepieces, and again, at the beginning of the episode, I said that it was fake, pointless trash. Now, why do I say pointless? I mean, if someone wants a vintage looking watch, but the robust build of a modern timepiece, this is a home run. Not exactly. You see, for the most part, anyone who would actually be interested in a bubble back, like a true Rolex bubble back, probably likes it because it's an actual old Rolex with an original Eigler movement. And I'm not trying to oversimplify vintage watch collecting, but the truth is, a lot of the reasons we like these old watches is because they're old. Using my bubble back as an example, again, an original Eigler movement from the 1940s. It stood the test of time. It's a time capsule, a blast from the past, taking us to eras that we've never lived in. It's actually funny calling a watch a time capsule because it literally is a capsule that is telling time but when it's old, it could also be a time capsule because it is showing us like days of yore. Wow, I'm blowing my mind here, dude. Vintage watches tell a story. People wore them. Experiences aged them. Every ding, every scratch, every scrape is a testament to the watch's history. Whether you like it or not, there's an indescribable charm that comes along with wearing a watch that's much older than yourself. And I get it, Vague Watch Company is trying to cut out the middleman, so to speak. They're trying to artificially manufacture this charm that comes along with an old watch. They want to kind of inject the watch's personality and give it some character that it doesn't have. You can't mass produce a watch's history. They can't build the watch's story. You can't build these watches, send them to Japan, have professionals scuff them up, make them look all dinged up and scratched up and old, and then sell them to people and be like, oh, so nostalgic with such a rich history. No, this is just another example of a lazy facade trying to be something it's not. So forgive me, okay? I'm gonna go ahead, seek out the real deals, and wear some proper vintage watches. Not something that wants to look old and beat up for the sake of being old and beat up. But guys, I'm sure some of you have differing opinions, especially when it comes to these vintage watches. Some of you prefer to wear modern watches. Some of you hate anything that looks old. But leave me that comment. I'd love to hear kind of your thoughts and where you stand on this. So comment, and I will see you in the comment section. And special thanks to my channel members for making this all possible. Guys, we do 6 pieces of content a week for my channel members. Again, Monday, Wednesday, Friday with a Saturday live stream, but the channel members get an extra live stream and an extra episode each week for only $4.99 a month. Guys, we do not use Patreon here. We use YouTube channel memberships. So again, it's essentially like YouTube's Patreon, $4.99. You make this possible, and the editors, they actually get paid so they can eat. I know, crazy. Like, what are they doing here? It's not like they're doing anything cool with my content. I don't even know why I have to pay them. Nothing crazy is going on during the episodes that I need to actually pay them, but I pay them. So, you know, whatever. And guys, please check out all the affiliate links. We have a bunch of really cool watch-related gear, everything the watch collector needs, watch toolkits, watch straps, watch winders, even a bunch of really cool modern watches over at my Amazon affiliate store. And if you want the vintage stuff, check out the #1 place to find affordable vintage luxury watches handpicked by me with a 1-year warranty. That's my personal website, www.thetimetellershop.com. Click the link in the description below and check it out. People get upset because there's not a whole lot of watches there, and that's because we do weekly restocks and they constantly sell out. Business is booming. I'm very proud of that, but please check it out every time I notify you guys on Instagram or via the community section here on YouTube. I let you guys know as early as possible when there's a restock, and they constantly get scooped up. I apologize, guys. So guys, thank you so much. If you learned something new, if you enjoyed this episode and you stuck around for the rant, please hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. Hit the bell icon because it helps us out a bunch. Please like, comment, and subscribe. I'm Jory Goodman, the Time Teller, and always remember, I didn't invent time. I just tell it. That was a fun little rant.